What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Partners with Peter Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Hope you are all off to a wonderful day. Y'all do me a favor, by the way, if you would. Well, of course, all the things that I always ask. If you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. Subscribe up to the Matt Moscona YouTube channel. It's free. Just hit the red subscribe button so the videos post up in your feed whenever we go live. If you're on Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page. And as always, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. One other thing, though, I'm going to go ahead and pin the Hudco URL in the comments section. Not necessarily right now, but at some point, if you would, just do me a solid. We updated the website for Hudco. I would just love some feedback if you think it's user-friendly, easy to navigate, all that sort of stuff you might change, etc. So. All right, we'll say some good mornings here. Put there in the description, Kirby got paid. He'll make over $11 million per season. Certainly deserving. I mean, he's played for 2 natties in 6 years. He won one of them. 5 straight years in the CFP or the New Year's Six. And, obviously Georgia's first national title in 40 years. But it's also interesting because you continue to see coaching salaries escalate and you wonder, I guess I keep waiting for a market correction, right? Like, they just can't go up forever. I mean, I guess like inflation happens, so like, the price of a gallon of milk, what it was, when my grandfather was a kid and paid a nickel for a gallon of milk, whatever. So you look at it now and you go, man, could you imagine, 80 years ago telling someone, hey, you're going to pay $6 for a gallon of milk? That's how much money I make in a month. But anyway, maybe. But then also Tennessee got their NOA, 18 level 1 violations. The NCAA commended them for cooperating, but 18 level 1 violations, I would fully anticipate they get hammered. So, let's see. All right, y'all, questions, comments, concerns, fire away. Let's say some good mornings here. Truax, what's good? Ryan Amanda Gidry, Dalton, James, Pishon. Pishon? Pishon. I'm so ready for college football. Me too, Dalton. We were talking about that, me and Hester and T-Bob and Rivers when we were driving back from the airport on a Thursday night. Like, last few weeks of calm for us, because the football season, man, you get on the treadmill and it's like on level 8, you're sprinting, for about 3 months. So, I guess 4 months, but, anyway, but I'm ready for it, man. Ready for the game to start being played again. Ready for football Saturdays. Looking forward to it. Amy Burley, good morning. Kyle DeVille, Reagan Lee. How big is getting Shores, King, Kling, and Neal on campus? Okay, so Reagan was able to go back and look at my notes. So Chase Shores, very good pitcher. His asking number, again, these are from the notes that I had, if you remember. From right when LSU season ended, I asked some scouts kind of their opinion on these guys, signability, all that stuff. And Shores was a guy that they thought would end up at LSU's campus just because his ask was too high, that he wasn't going to get his number. So he did. So he was one of the ones that they did anticipate getting. Gidry was 50-50, and I told y'all the number, and I'm very confident in saying this number, that his number was 3.2, and he was offered $2 million by 5 teams. 5 teams called and offered him 2, and he wouldn't take it. So he stuck to his number, and good for him. Neal was a doubtful. They did not think they were going to get Brady Neal on campus. For those who don't know, Brady Neal is one of the best catchers in the country. Getting Neal and Bear Jones both on campus is sensational. When you also have Milazzo and Travinsky, you all of a sudden now have really good numbers at catcher and options and depth, and for the future it's great. And yes, very good. And Paxton Kling, they did expect to get as well. So yes, the only one there that you mentioned that they weren't really sure on were Guidry and Neal, and they got both of them. Scott Phillips, Ricky Lambert, morning Matt. Marcia and Amy here watching also. Well, good morning, Marcia and Amy as well. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And enjoy, we hope, some beautiful weather today, right? It's supposed to maybe rain a little bit later, but it's a beautiful morning right now, so you'll enjoy it. Randy Bennett, Arthur Coco. Saban gets a raise now. Saban got one last year. He signed a 10-year extension last year. Samuel Merrifield. Matt, great job with the draft recap with Terrio. Was watching videos on Shores. Saw he was bringing it up to 98 miles an hour. Future is bright for the pitching staff. Don't know much about Newt or the lefties. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Samuel, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I've watched a lot of these guys pitch or anything. I was just asking opinions on whether or not they were going to end up on campus. Here's what I'll tell you that I'm very confident saying, Samuel, is I'm very confident saying that Thatcher Hurd from UCLA, if he's healthy, he's your Friday night guy. Very confident in that. I'm also confident in telling you that if Christian Little, is healthy and on campus, he's in your weekend rotation. And I'll also tell you they are, including Wes Johnson. Terry said this yesterday here. Wes Johnson is very high on Ty Floyd. So that could be a very formidable rotation. And we haven't even talked then about Blake Money, Grant Taylor, Sam Dutton, Javen Coleman's role when he returns, and all the signees that you just got. So, yeah, man, they are stacked. They are stacked. Bubba Tatum, Breezy Bro, Vinay Patel, good morning. Coming in hot with another Gamecoin update, crypto with a purpose. Vinay Patel, we got phenomenal news this week on Gamecoin. From our developer as far as when they will be completely wrapped, turned over to us, and live on the App Store. I am not at liberty to share that date. That is just not I hope you understand, that's not my, not my role. And I certainly would not overstep there, but, we are very close, and it's very exciting because at David Mailer's insistence, and because he was willing to self-fund it, the Gamecoin platform was built in hyperspeed. Things just usually don't go that quickly in crypto, but we are almost there and excited to have. We'll have Matt Corral and Tari Eason first-round pick, Jacob Berry first-round pick. We're going to have so many guys that are Gamecoin ambassador athletes. DeMario Davis, Leonard Fournette. We're going to have all these guys at launch. Not just guys, ladies as well. Jenny Finch. It's very, very exciting. We are so close. Really, really close. So hopefully we are able and comfortable to announce a date. But I hope you'll understand that you don't want to announce a date and then miss your date, even if it's by a day or 2 or 5, whatever. You don't want to announce a date and miss it. So I'm not going to do it, but we're close. Matt Lusto, Donald Emi, Wendell Norman, Kerry Hughes, Larry Garner, Keith Walker. Yes, Pluckers, Dollar Wings today. Yes, today, Pluckers anniversary. Dollar Wings, $2 Bud Light. So all day today, and I'll give you a hint, they're actually doing it next Friday as well. Today is Pluckers anniversary, so they're doing the Dollar Wings and $2 Bud Lights today. But next Friday is National Wing Day, so they're going to bring it back again next Friday. So sneak peek for y'all. Joey Metge, LA State Road 23. Good morning from Coos Bay, Oregon. Go Tigers. Tony Janusa, good morning from New Braunfels. Oh, Schlitterbahn. Tavanka De Silva, good morning from Sri Lanka, I would assume. So even Coach Kelly is not sure about O-line, it seems from his statements from SEC Media Days. Is the situation a real concern? Of course the situation is a real concern. Listen, Tavanka, he said that going into spring. I mean, I asked him point blank, were there any positions that they would still be looking to add in the portal? And he said He said we're not done on the offensive line, and they still need help at tight end. I mean, you don't have any certainties today on your offensive line. Like, I'm pretty sure that Will Campbell is going to be your starter at left tackle, but that's it. I mean, Cam Wire could be your starter at right tackle, or maybe it's Miles Frazier, who was a freshman All-America last year at FIU. I'm pretty sure Tremont Shorts is going to take one of those interior line spots, but I don't know which one. Is Charles Turner ready to be your starting center? Don't know. If not, then you have to cross-train someone at center who's never played that position before. So yeah, I mean, it's a very, and all that while you're gonna have a new quarterback under center, a new offense. So yeah, that is a very legitimate concern. And anyone who tries to brush it aside is, quite honestly, just being disingenuous. So yeah, it's a very, very real concern. The offensive line. I'm trying to find Sports Center. I don't think we just turn on Marty and McGee. Shouldn't there always be Sports Center on field like it, huh? Cliff Nelson, good morning. Brown Bear 765, morning, Matt. When I was leaving Japan, I had 2 delays that had me stuck overnight twice. Missed my U.S. connecting flight by 2 days. Oh, gosh. Very sorry to hear that. Don Clue out 504. What's up, Scone? Did you see Jaden take the wide receivers to Cali for a trip, working out together? I think it's a major move for him trying to get to know the guys more, get the quarterback job. Thoughts on it? I did not see that, Don. I mean, full disclosure, while we're at media days, you're kind of a little... I mean, you were living in that little bubble, in that little vacuum for 4 days. So, no, I did not see that. But I think it's fantastic. Ryan Rogers, morning, Matt. Who will be successful the quickest when they enter the SEC, OU or Texas? I mean, Oklahoma's already built for success, right? I mean, they've had the sustained success already. If you ask me which head coach I think is better, Brent Venables or Steve Sarkisian, I think Sark is going to end up being a better head coach than Brent Venables, just because he's more proven at the collegiate level. I remember at Washington and at SC, and I think, but for his personal struggles, might have never left SC, but it happened. He was able to go get his life back in order at Nick Saban's home for wayward coaches, and he was also a coach with the Falcons, and now he's back in at the college level as a head coach. So. I do think long-term, probably Texas, but short-term, probably OU. Merrick Bethurn, Kyle Milliken, Tennessee NOA for football. Yes, 18 level 1 violations by Jeremy Pruitt and his staff. So, self-reported and, well, actually, let me not say self-reported. They cooperated, Tennessee did, with the NCAA investigation. And, the NCAA infractions have tried to move away from punishing players on field that had nothing to do with the infractions. So you would think that would mean no bowl ban. But we'll see. And if there are scholarship restrictions, that could be even more devastating than a bowl ban. Let's see, Ryan Rogers. If the Aggies were to go 6-6, would Jimbo feel some heat from the boosters? So, Ryan, I did ask that question point blank to Billy Lucci from TexAgs. And listen, I love Billy, but I know a lot of you are going to say he's the most gigantic homer of the world, and I don't disagree. But I also think his answer to this was valid. He essentially said no because the narrative there is that, look, they're just a year or 2 years removed, the COVID year, from winning 9 games, and they're 8-1 and they won the Orange Bowl. Now, I throw a big asterisk on that and go, okay, yeah, it was a COVID season and they had one win over a team like with a winning record. I mean, it was just not an impressive year. So, nuance matters, but they can believe what they want. And you follow that up with a year where you beat Bama and still lose 4 games. But this is why I think that it kind of makes sense. He said, look, they just signed. Everyone's really excited about this signing class, but you'd really have to wait until 2023 when this signing class is is our sophomores, again, their second year. So, so 23 might be the year where if A&M takes a big step, it would make sense if they did it. And I don't think they're going to go 6-6, by the way, Ryan. Shane Carver, hey Matt, did both transfer shortstops decide to go pro? What do you think starts at that spot? So not both yet. Jack Pineda from Baylor is going to sign. We're waiting on word from Carter Young, who was drafted, but on his Instagram, he's like on a beach somewhere. So don't have a word yet on Carter Young, what he's going to do. But remember, you're also replacing Doty at second and Barry at third, so you need 3 infield spots. And so if you look at it, you've got potentially Carter Young, Gavin Guidry, and Jordan Thompson for those 3 spots. You just see how it works out. Hunter Seneca, good morning. Merrick Mathern, are you doing whiskey and wine with T-Bob? Of course. I have Gavin Guidry. Read rule. I have Gavin Guidry and Paxton Kling as day 1 starters. Am I being too optimistic? Yeah, I don't know about Kling. Guidry, I think, is a great shot on the infield. Because Pineda is signing, right? So you're going to need an infield spot, and I think he's got a great shot at starting one of those spots. Kling, maybe not so much, because you already got 2 outfield spots locked down. And I still maintain you're going to see Tommy White play some first base, and you're going to see Trey Morgan in the outfield. Now, that may not be every game. Please don't misunderstand me. But you are going to see that. So, day 1, do you go with a more veteran guy? So, Josh Stevenson, who could play left. We'll see. So Guidry, I think, is more believable than Kling. Dat Cajun, good morning. Tired Eyes, good morning. Cliff Nelson, next time we're at Oliver Twist, I'm going to take a poll to see who thinks I'm your agent. I'm your agent. Or my dad. Joey Metge, during this week, you talked about Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban's conflict. I remember you mentioned LSU Florida in 2016. I was in deployment during that time. What happened between LSU and Florida? Oh, okay, so Joey, long, complicated story short, Hurricane Matthew was threatening Florida, and so the Gators decided they were not going to play LSU on that Saturday. And LSU offered every possible solution to fly in on Saturday and fly right back out. To play the game on Sunday, to play the game on Monday, to move the kickoff time earlier on Saturday and fly in, fly out. They offered to play at neutral sites. They offered to play in Baton Rouge. And the answer that Florida gave to Jeremy Foley to everything was no. They were completely unwilling to budge. Like, if they were not going to play the game in Gainesville at its designated time, they were not going to budge. And so you had a very public spat between Joe Oliva and Jeremy Foley because what they wanted LSU to do was move the Florida game to a later date on the schedule and cancel, I think, which was a home game against South Alabama. And Oliva was like, we're not giving up a home game. Like, we're not losing the revenue from a home game to play this game because we offered a bajillion solutions to get it done, and you wouldn't do it. And by the way, I think Joe Oliva was right. Jeremy Foley was an a-hole. But it was a very public and very ugly spat. And it was right after Greg Sankey had taken over as commissioner. So that's why. basically dirty laundry got aired in the public. And that don't really happen around the SEC. Jonathan Martin, good morning. Jeff, what's up, man? Good to see you this morning. Bruce Shales, good morning, Matt. Any info about the two-way player from Air Force Skeens, possibility he lands at LSU? No updates there. I know everybody's asking about him, but no updates there. Brett Dagro, Jimmy James, good morning. Does HUDCO have roof inspection recommendations before we hit hurricane season? Yeah, get one. Even if a roof inspection just, maybe you don't need a replacement or everything, but maybe it's, hey, look, let's nail down loose shingles. Let's caulk certain areas that need it. Let's clean out your gutters. Things like that are things that could help mitigate damage if we do get a storm. So, I mean, I would always, inspections are free, man. Like they are free. And if any roofing company ever tries to charge you for an inspection, like hang up the phone immediately, because no roofing company should ever charge you for an inspection. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend it to anybody, like especially before storm season, because so many times you have damage you don't know about, and the worst thing that could happen is you get a storm blow through and you have a leak, and then it drips, and all of a sudden you got water spots on your ceiling. That's the worst. Trivia Carter, good morning. LA State Road 23, 6-6 would be divine. Oh, you mean for A&M? LA State Road 23, we go 9-3. Yeah, I don't think LSU's going to go 9-3. I would love it. I think they would be a little over their skis there, but I think that's probably a little ambitious. Randy Bennett, Arthur Cook. I read that one over here on Facebook. Breezy Bro, John Morris, who will be the starting quarterback. I've continued to maintain that I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels, but I think all three are going to end up playing. I'm just using deductive reasoning here. If you loved the quarterback room you had, why would you have gone and added Jaden Daniels? Also know that both Kelly and Denbrock prefer a mobile quarterback, and you got one guy that's actually been a starter. I mean, Jaden Daniels has started 30 career games. Miles Brennan started 3. So I think they'll roll with Daniels to start. Ronnie Dugas, Charlie Gale, hey Dad, good morning. Reagan Lee, will sanctions come for LSU before basketball starts? I doubt it, Reagan. I mean, the NCAA can do whatever they want, but throughout this whole process, they've kind of poked LSU in the eye every opportunity they've had, and my guess is they'll do it right before the tournament again. Do you have confidence in LSU starting 5 or 6-0? So first of all, I think they're going to beat Florida State. Of course, they're going to beat Southern. I like that they get State at home, although Mike Leach always kind of makes you a little leery. They'll beat New Mexico, and then they're at Auburn. And the at Auburn game kind of worries me. And I know what you're going to say. They almost fired Brian Harsin. They're a dumpster fire. Bo Nix left, this and that, and that's all understandable. Auburn also has their entire offensive line back and arguably the best running back in the country in Tank Bigsby. New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I get it. They've got questions. I'm not saying they don't. And Auburn's, I think, win total projection is 5.5. So I get it. LSU maybe should even go win that game. But winning at Auburn and at Georgia or at Florida, just tough places to play, man. Just really tough places to play. I'd probably say they drop either State or Auburn. I hope not. I mean, I hope they win both. You beat both those, you go to the home game against Tennessee. Now you're playing for something meaningful. You have confidence, you're playing for something meaningful now. I mean, the ability to play for something meaningful is winning all the games you're supposed to win and then seeing how you fare in the toss-ups. Stevie Maranta, good morning. Kyle DeVille. Saw where Nick Hill said AK might not get suspended. Your thoughts? I would love that if he didn't get suspended. I also don't know how that would be possible. Patrick Cason, Tony Williams, Jerry DeLucky, listening from Perdido Key. All right, Jerry, enjoy that beach time, bruh. Tony Williams, that's why I doubt seriously Miles will start at QB. Kelly Gross, Kyle DeVille, do the Saints win the division or wild card? Kyle, I think the Saints will be 10-7, and I think they will be a wild card team. That's my official prediction for the Saints. Brian Pinton, good morning from Laramie, Wyoming. Had a flat. Now it's giving me an inspection. I always wondered what you guys do when you like. So Brian is a truck driver. I'm curious when your rig gets a flat. Like, what do you do? Do you change it? Do you have to have like roadside assistants come and change it? Brent Landry, George Mueller, Craig Dugas. How about this? Did 2 fresh cracks this week. Jefferson's Twin Oak Single Barrel and Old Elk Weeded. Okay. Taylor really knows how to pick them. All right now. Yes, sir. The Old Elk Weeded is magnificent. Jeff McKiffin, good morning. Y'all smash that like button if you're watching there on a YouTube. 81 watching, 28 likes. Really easy. All you can do is just hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on mobile, just X out of the live chat. The comments, just X out of the live chat. Then just hit the thumbs up, the like button, then tap live chat again. Boom. Comments come right back. And on Facebook, please like the Matt Scone page as well. Share post. Let's see. Alex, Matt, do you think we will be able to get the true picture of this 2022 team after the Florida State game? Based on that question because of UCLA last year. No, Alex, because here's what I think about this team. I think, like any team, you're allowed to improve over the course of the season. I'd say think more like 2017, which was Ed's first year, where they got just dump trucked by Mississippi State. They lost to Troy. And then they went to Gainesville and won 17-16 on the missed PAT. And they kind of found their sea legs. They installed Etling as a quarterback. They stopped going to the 2 quarterback deal. They realized even though Etling wasn't going to win games for them, he wasn't going to lose games for them. And they continued to improve, and they ended up winning 9 games. So I think that could be kind of how you see this season go. Cody Boudreaux. Dat Cajun, Florida Gators are soft for that. Yeah, that was a not good circumstance all the way around. I guess true, Dat Cajun, because we've just seen so many times, and it's affected no program more than LSU, where the impact of storms and what it did. I mean, LSU, of course, lost a home game post-Katrina, went and played it up at Arizona State. They played it on a Monday night against Tennessee. They moved the game to 10 a.m. against Appalachian State in 2008. I mean, we've just seen it so many times throughout the years, where we've seen schedules disrupted and you do what you have to do. I mean, South Carolina, when they had their flood up there in Columbia in 2015, played that game in Baton Rouge. You just, the entire COVID season, you do what you do. You do what you have to do, I kind of miss old Butter Teeth at Florida. Somewhere he's humping a hammerhead. Merrick, is Gavin Dugas coming back or is he out of eligibility? No, he's got another year and he did not get drafted, so Gavin Dugas should well be back. That is the expectation. Kevin Williams, with NIL in place now, do kids that are currently committed flip on signing day? Kevin, you always see flips on or around signing day, right? NIL or not, that's always been a thing. So sure, I think you're going to see you'll see people flip. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, do they flip because they've already gotten an NIL deal? Does that keep them in place? Not unless someone comes and offers more. Shelby, how many games before Brian Kelly addresses fans leaving big time games early? I don't know. Don't know, don't care. Shelby, you've been hanging around here long enough to know that I do not care. I'm not going to tell a fan what to do with their time or come late, leave early. I don't care. Don't care. That's you. I don't want you telling me what to do with my free time. I'm not going to chastise anybody for what they do with theirs. So you do you. Read rule. Hope I'm wrong, but I don't trust Emery to be the main guy for us. I think Kane is our starter by mid-SEC. Do you have faith in Emery? Reed, I do have faith in Emery. I think John Emery's dynamic. You're basing that on really nothing. Emery was just behind Clyde, and as a freshman in 2019. 2020 was the COVID year, and he had some flashes. And then he sat out all last year when he was academically ineligible. So you just haven't seen him. I mean, I could spin it and say, hey, man, fresh legs, bro. Fresh legs and a lot to prove. But yeah, I do. I have a lot of faith in John Emery. No, he's not Fournette. LA State Road 23 said if Emery plays angry, he's Fournette. No, nobody's Fournette, brother. I mean, Fournette's a linebacker with running back speed. That's a lifetime type back. You'll never see another Leonard Fournette at LSU. I mean, he's when you're 6'2", 235, playing running back with that speed, there's a reason I was the fourth overall pick, whatever it was. Davis Mills wins the MVP in 2022. Go Texans. No. Marcus DeCluet. Good morning. Should kids get agent now going into college? So you can't get an agent, Marcus. What you can have is a marketing agent, right? And a lot of them have that. But what's happened is a lot of the sports agencies have created marketing departments, marketing wings to help the kids with, broker marketing deals. And of course, the expectation is then once they become a pro, they sign with the agency. Rob Boudreau, morning, Matt. Have you tried the JT Mellick whiskey yet? I feel like I have somewhere along the way. I don't own a bottle of it, and I don't remember being super impressed, but I can't say definitively. So that's a very wishy-washy answer. Sorry about that. Edmund Seal, morning, Matt. Does Hudco Roofing do small roof repairs? Yes. My roof is fairly new. I have a leak in my garage. Yes, absolutely, Edmund. Give us a shout or go to the website. Like literally we have a repairs crew that all they do are repairs. So from the smallest repair to the biggest commercial job, we will do anything pertaining to your roof. So yes, we do repairs, absolutely. Like a lot of companies don't mess with repairs. They don't want to mess with the small stuff. We will. And quite honestly, Edmund, one of the reasons is because it's a touch point. We know we'll come do your repair. Won't be a huge thing for our company, but when you get to the point where you need a major roofing job, you'll call us. Or we hope so. When you have to use if for a player, maybe he doesn't have it. Or maybe you just haven't seen it. If Zion is healthy, if Michael Thomas is healthy, if a quarterback can connect with these receivers. But all of those are very real possibilities. We've seen Zion be a 28-10 guy. We've seen Michael Thomas literally win NFL Offensive Player of the Year and set the single-season receiving record. So that's not a far cry. Like that doesn't make sense that occasion. Like you're missing the mark on that one, bro. Damon Gilmore, Kevin Williams. Yeah, 260. I saw Fournette came in overweight. If he can maintain that top end speed at 260, that'd be something. I don't think he will, though. All right, few more here. Few more. Richard Tilley Sr., good morning from the Tillies in Bossier City. Yes, sir. Lester Harvey. Oh, truck stops do roadside service. Okay, interesting. I never knew. Kyle DeVille. Got tickets for Mississippi State LSU game. Can't wait. Hopefully it lives up to the A&M game last year. That'll be a night game, too. We already know in BR. Tony Williams, drink some Woodford Reserve Double Oak. It's pretty good. Yeah, if you like oaky whiskey, I mean, Woodford is definitely oaky, and the Double Oak is very, very oaky, but yes. Chance Babbitt, I love LSU being picked fifth. Perfect motivation for Brian Kelly. Just hope we're on a fifth-place team. I prefer to be picked first every year. But, yeah, I hear you. I picked LSU fourth. I went Bama, A&M, Ole Miss than LSU. And a big part of it's schedule. Same reason I picked Kentucky second in the East. You just got to consider schedules. Look at schedules. Schedules matter. Who you play, when, where you play them, and I'm pretty sure Ole Miss has a great shot of starting 7-1 or 8-0. Just go look at their schedule. Tracy Poole, morning, Matt. How's 40 treat you? Heard my little buddy Drew in the background. Yep, 40 treat me great. No complaints here. And Drew is up, and we are going to in a little while head over to Rouses in Denham. They are doing a Rouse, of course, is a great sponsor of AFR. They are doing a rare whiskey tasting this morning. So free samples of Van Winkle Lot B. That's the 12-year Van Winkle. Weller 12. Michter's 10, Stag Jr., Old Forester 150th anniversary. So some really, really good bottles that you may never get a chance to sample otherwise. Doing free samples today. Okay. Let's see. Alex, have you been able to talk to any former quarterbacks to get insight on the quarterback situation? Former quarterbacks like who? So you got to keep in mind, like, who would have insight? I'll tell you this, Alex. Like, Brian Kelly has really closed off the facility. Like, even, Ogeron had an open door policy. Like, if you were a former LSU player, you could come anytime. Come use the weight room, come into the facility anytime, watch any practice you want. It was just open door policy for former players. Kelly completely shut that down. Anybody that wants to go, like, has to call and make an appointment. He just has a completely different standard of organization and expectation. So, if you're asking about, quarterbacks that would know, like, they haven't seen these guys, right? They haven't seen them out there. So we'll wait and see how it all plays out. I asked Ryan Clark about Jaden Daniels. Of course, his son Jordan plays at Arizona State, and so he's got to see every game Jaden Daniels has played in his career. Athletically, he's easily the most dynamic player that LSU has. I think, as much as people want Brennan to maybe be the guy, I think you just forget how much he struggled in those 3 games. Like, you're going to say, well, he threw for 400 yards against Missouri. He did. He threw 50 pass attempts. I mean, forgive me, but 50% completion. I'm not gonna do a backflip there. Anyway. Hey, Tommy Poole, the Rouse's whiskey tasting is in my part of the world. What time is that? 10. So it's starting in about 37 minutes, 10 to noon. So I'm gonna wrap up here. Let me brush my teeth, get dressed, and get Drew ready, and we're gonna go. Take Drew out there for a few minutes. We're not gonna stay up for 2 hours, but we'll pop in, say hello. Maybe I'll try that Old Forester 150th. That's really what I'll try. I've had all the other ones. I'm gonna try the Old Forester, and then we'll head over to Daddy's work, ride the elevator. So, all right, I think we're just about done, y'all. As always, appreciate y'all watching. Patrick Cason, Matt, can you give us your best guess on if Tennessee or Ole Miss will be a night game? If I'm not mistaken, well, let me say, October the 8th is the, LSU Tennessee is October the 8th. October the 8th is the Bama A&M game, and that's going to be the night game on CBS. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that has to be unopposed. So you could see LSU Tennessee maybe as the 2:30 game that day on CBS. Ole Miss, I would assume, is going to be a night game. Rhoda Yule, when is Skeens coming to visit? Don't know. Tony Williams, Brennan is not the guy. Tony, I think you got. I think, well, I've said this all week. LSU's fan base, I think, is split 50-50. 50% of the people are really pulling for Miles Brennan to get the storybook ending to his career, and the other half really want Garrett Nussmeier because he's kind of like the shiny new toy. Kyle DeVille, I'm going with Garrett. Kyle, it's so stunning to me, though, because Garrett Nussmeier has played the least, and when we actually saw him get extended reps last year against Arkansas, he was awful. And the book on Nussmeier is he's careless with the football. Do you honestly think Brian Kelly's going to let Garrett Nussmeier run it there and turn it over 3-4 times a game? Like, that's a recipe for a 5-win season. Like, go out there and just keep turning the football over 2-3 times a game. Like, he's not going to do it. He's got a quarterback that started 30 games. And he's got a 6th-year senior. Like, he's not going to start the red shirt freshman unless he has to. So, I don't see it. Chance Babin, wish he had more time with Cutcliffe. He was an interesting guest. Chance, I asked Coach. He was phenomenal. I asked him, hey, look, I would love it if you would come on at some point during the off-season or season. And he was definitely down. Like, he was so nice. Yeah, and very interesting. I'll definitely talk to him again. Gulf South, the way Coach O treated former players was great. Definitely disappointed how Kelly has closed everything off. I mean, honestly, Gulf South, Les was the same way. Les closed everything off. Nick closed everything off. And I mean, all of them were drastically more successful than Ed Ogeron was. Ed did that because Ed was constantly fighting what he felt was a PR battle, a popularity contest. He needed to be popular because he wasn't a very good coach. So that was Derek's suggestion. Let the former players do the Tiger Walk. Let all the former players come in. Open the practice to media. I mean, Derek knew all the complaints from doing the job he had done with us on radio. He knew what players and media and former players, fans all thought. And so he knew what to tell Ed to do, and Ed trusted him to do it. So, I mean, that's why he won a lot of public favor with that stuff. It doesn't have anything to do whatsoever with how you run a successful program. Yeah, exactly, Rob Boudreaux. It's not closed off. If they want to come, they just need to schedule an appointment. Like, they just need to call and plan a visit. So they're like on a guest list. Merritt Bethune, what's Derek doing now? Derek is working for a sports agency, I think based out of Chicago, primarily working with coaches. All right, y'all, I think we're done. Danny Braywood, good thing for Miles. If he loses the job, he could transfer before the season, play at Southern Miss or somewhere like that. That's true. And he might. That's what Justin McMillan did. That's what Lowell Narcisse did back in 2018. So, all right, guys, we are done. Drew's backpack's beeping. I need to get him dressed anyway. We got to get on the road. Got to get over to Rouses and Denham and then to Daddy's work to go ride the elevator. So, y'all have an awesome day. Shout out as always to Brock. Remember, Brock Rock and Wine, few weeks away. August the 6th. What are we, 2 weeks away from Brock Rock and Wine? So, get your tickets, brortho.com. And, of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. All right, y'all have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.